Hey everybody, thanks for being here again. Glad you're here. We're back with another Masters match today. This is against John. He goes by John Boy. And we've played together a couple times, in and out of Masters. And my second time playing John in Masters this season. This is the final match in the normal season. So we finish out this one, they total up the points, and then we see if we're able to hold on to our first place spot. The first, second, and third place teams go to playoffs, and then there's a wild card team. So if we did take first place, we would be starting off playing the wild card team, and then second and third place play against each other, and then the winners of those go into the finals. By the way, well, so we're jumping right in here. John wins the lag and takes into opening up with a defense shot. He does leave a look at the one ball, so I'm going to have an option here. I did want to mention, you probably noticed the background music. I'm working on tweaking down the volume. I did throw up a poll on my channel, as you can see here. Let's move it out of the way so that it's not blocking the shot. But pretty definitive, I have to say. So thank you to those of you who threw a vote in there. With 23 votes, we have 65% saying they are not enjoying the music or would rather not have the music. I completely understand that. Personally, for me, if I'm watching a video like this and I want to have some music on in the background, I'll throw it up on something else and then maybe adjust the volume myself. Undercut that one ball. I'm going to maybe catch a bit of a roll here with the 6. Yeah, so blocked him. Unfortunate for John, but coming in a little shaky off that first match, so we're just trying to get back into stroke. But yeah, thanks again for your feedback. I think probably what I'll do moving forward is to keep out the background music and do my best to keep rolling here, make sure that there's not a lot of dead air in the videos. With the understanding that that's going to happen from time to time, there may not be too much to say, or I may just want to be watching the shot myself with you guys. So yeah, that's going to happen, but I think the idea is I don't want the music to be distracting. I don't want it to take away from the core content, which in my opinion is the match and the commentary, right? That's why I'm here, and I hope that's why you all are here. So this should be the last video, at least for a while, where I'll use some background music unless I can figure out some kind of other better solution. But John's got to grapple with a kick here off the long rail, and he's got an option of coming out and back. Pretty good chance of tucking the one ball back down there. Leaks out a little bit, leaves an edge on the one. It would have been really nice if it had laid up behind this wall. But as I mentioned, and if you saw that last game, this was a rough day for me. So my mindset wasn't really in it, and as much as we try to focus on, not letting those shoulds come into our game, this is a pretty good shot here. Nice and thin off the one. I brush that out. Make sure to like and subscribe. Helps out the video a lot, helps out the channel a lot, brings more people in here. Closing in on 1,000 subscribers, which is going to be awesome. If we can hit that before Vegas, that's going to make a really big difference for the channel. The monetization it's not a huge deal to me. It would be a really cool milestone. I'd definitely celebrate it and super grateful to all of you who are making that happen. But the thing that excites me the most about it is getting more people in here, meeting more people, talking to more people, having more of you in the comments, in the live stream chat, just kind of hanging out with us and enjoying the game together, learning together. Because a lot of your comments are just so insightful and valuable in helping us all learn and grow. Meanwhile, John's trying to go after the 9, which makes sense. I think that's the best decision in that kind of situation. Maybe underhit it, could have used a little more pace. The 9 ball was tracking. And now, in this case, we've got a reasonably open table. The bank is on for the 1 ball here. Had to tighten it up a little bit with inside. Long cut on the 2, but we're not scared of this one either. You just want to make sure that maybe a bit of check side. I'm not afraid of using inside, in case you haven't noticed. We might just let this kind of float back up Yeah, we didn't really need to check that too much. And this is good here. You have to really commit to either side of the shot line for the 3. You're either down table and you know you're going to come back around for the 4, or you come to this side of the 3 and then shot line kind of takes you down here below the 4 and the side. If you overrun it, you get down below the 4, it's not the end of the world. You can play it in the corner or you can thin it in the side. But ideally you want to be playing the 4 in the side here. These tables play pretty fast. We're going to be overrunning this. But you will notice throughout this match, again, this was a few weeks ago now, so I don't remember this one super well. Some kind of granular detail on the different shots, but I do remember that my pace was a little better. My offense to defense was feeling a little more level. So what we can do here, playing it in the corner doesn't really avail you anything because the cue ball is going to want to stay along that long rail. We're basically thinning this in the side with left-hand spin, check side to bring it back down table. Yeah, you see how it's straightened out the angle. Good speed. Nice one. You want to take a breath here. Jumping right into it because I'm trying to attack. But this could have used a lap. Yeah, dogged it. Silly. Shape wasn't even that good on the 7. It would have been workable, but rush that 6 ball a little bit. That would have been a nice out, though. That kind of cross corner bank on the 1 to open up. It's okay. Should still be feeling okay. This is a cuttable ball. John can cut this. You're always going to hit the 9, but cutting the 6 that thin, the cue ball is going to maintain a decent amount of energy and bounce back up, get some kind of shape on the 7. Even if you end up down here, the 7 plays in the corner. If you slide up a little more, 7 goes in the side. So he should have options if he's able to kick in the 6. Oh, undercut it. And yeah, sent the 9 ball moving, as I said. So interesting spot here. You can go thin on the 6, maybe a touch of outside to spin it out and around. Try to hold it in here somewhere for the 7 and the side. I like that. Looking at it here, that seems fine. That's what I look at initially. But I think I was worried that it would overrun a little bit based on how fast. Yeah, a little kind of head tilt, and I'm not liking it. Next thing I look at is cutting it thin with inside. This whole rack is about using inside spin. It's a right-hand spin in this case. Again, for those of you who don't know, inside is towards the pocket where the object ball is going. So in this case, right-hand spin. Yeah, and you can see I kind of bobble the 6 in. I have to cheat the pocket, force the 6 to go in, and the spin, instead of pulling away from the 6 ball, the spin carries it up along the long rail. Good shape and good speed control. We get on the back side of the 7 here, but it's not a big deal. We just kind of punch it back down. Short side on the 8. And tons of options for how to get on the 9 ball here, but I like bringing it basically right back to where it is. Down off the short rail, float back up along the long rail for the 9 ball on the side. Nice and smooth all the way through this ball. Little jerky on the backswing. I'm working on that so much right now. Sort of timing with the backswing, slowing it down. Okay, take that first one. And these matches are before I was experimenting with a new break for 9 ball. Lots of movement, but no love. And he's got to look at the 1. The cut is on for the 1. And honestly, this sort of tangent line, if he pinches it a little bit, you've got a lot of room on this long rail to go into the 9, either straight into it. Yeah, he's looking at it. The 1 cuts and you're safe from a scratch. That's the thing. You'd be really hard pressed. I don't know if it's even possible for him to scratch down here with the 9 the way that it is. So you might as well send it. just cut the 1 and let the cue ball drift down there. You might get hooked on the 2 if the 9 doesn't go. Maybe you miss both. I guess there's some risk to this, right? But he's gonna go for it. Nice hit. All right, and there they go. Little kind of knock on the table. Congratulate him for that one. And just like that, it's 1-1. That's Nineball though, right? I mean, I do all that work in the last game to get up a game, and then break dry, and there's a 1-9 billiard available. You can just slide that in. John and I have a good rapport, so we're kind of chatting as we go. I'm liking the scoreboard app that I'm using too. Definitely use it for Vegas if we're able to get out there. Able to keep score while I'm doing the match. I did have to pay for their pro tier to remove the ads and to get more functionality, but I'd say overall it's been really useful, especially for masters where you're just keeping track of games. It's a bit of a pain when you're doing 9-ball. Ball for ball, and things can get a little sticky. You've got your scorekeepers backing you up too, so that definitely helps. So not a lot of great options here. He'll probably just go safe, maybe thin on the top side of the 1 ball. Get me to drift down behind the 6. Did a little too full. This ends up okay though. I mean, he didn't sell out an easy shot. And I'll probably look at a resafe here. Options to come down off the 1 and leave him behind the 2, or a little deeper and come back in behind the 9. You just got to commit to one or the other. I was going for the 9. Yeah, underhit it. Among all the other things that I got to work on before finals, or Masters, or playoffs rather, and Vegas if we make it out there, which is in August, the safety game. Gotta get on diamond bar box tables and work on safety game. Because I can do it from home. Nice shot from John. Those are touchy, and a lot of players will opt for rolling that in. It's totally okay to shoot it in, but there's a better chance of jawing that ball. It'll kind of bobble in the pocket sometimes if you hit it bad. So he just rolls that in with a nice easy speed and pretty much guaranteed shape on the 2. But yeah, I've got to just bear down some drills, some safety drills. Good authoritative stroke there on the 2. Punched back out. He does have a bit of an angle, so this is the 3 ball here. He's got a bit of an angle to where if you draw kind of stun off the 3, you can pull over to this lower side of the table here, the long rail. It was interesting though watching this. I do remember this situation. I don't know that John ever really considered it based on the way he was sighting it and looking at the back rail. So maybe he doesn't trust his draw stroke in that way. He doesn't maybe know how to do like a stun draw. So he decides to basically just roll through and let the 7 stop him there. The 4 ball's in nobody's favorite spot on a pool table. It might be bankable from here. I think he might attack this. It does not appear to be frozen, although it's hard to tell. He might just be trying to bank it back in the side pocket where his bridge hand is. Yeah, so overcut it. Those are tough though, right? I mean, there's not a lot of surface to work with. You have to make sure the cue ball gets out of the way so it doesn't double kiss. And we come into the table with a pretty good look at the 4. Back angle though, right, as you cut it. So I'm sighting in my angle on the 4. You know that the cue ball is gonna drive to the rail, kind of in here, depending on what you use. So follow, center ball or draw is going to take you kind of into here. You do want to roll through to roll up a little bit, get an angle in the 6. So I'm queuing high. This is good to reset though, because I didn't like where my bridge hand was set. Nice and smooth through the ball. Overcooked it a little bit. It's not a big deal. We still have full access to the 6. But the 4 goes clean. And normally what I like, I don't think I go for it here based on what I'm remembering, but normally what I like is to dig down on this one to draw it and sort of curve off the 6 towards the 7. I usually like to hit those. Maybe in this case it felt too thin though. Habits are looking good though. I'm lining up straight. I'm getting down well. Like I said, I'm still working on the backswing, really slowing that down. Actually, I'm gonna be putting a video together for that. You heard it here first. Been doing some experimenting with timing my backstroke and some tech that is theoretically gonna help me out with that. So yeah, a little weird. Like I said, you're pretty much always going to run into the 9 unless you have enough of the 6 to draw off it and curve around. So I just decided to take my medicine here on a longer shot with a 7. Nobody likes this one. And trying to hold it is risky. You just don't want to roll these in. So I might try to go back and forth. Get back over to the good side of the 8. No, I did try to hold it. Yeah, it's so easy to overhit that. So this is rough. I mean, really thin cut on the 8. You can attack it, but then you're turning the cue ball loose. Using inside, potentially hit the 9. I don't love that. You don't want to mess with outside here. Probably just going to go safe. You wouldn't really want to come on the right side of the 8, bring the cue ball around and split it with a 9 maybe, but then you are leaving the 8 closer to the pocket. So I'm looking at the left side of the 8 and send the cue ball back down table and leave as much distance as possible, basically. You have to judge this well, though. You don't want to leave the 8 laid up somewhere. So that's pretty good, pretty thin on the 8. And this is the thing, is mostly just trying to control the cue ball position, the distance between the 8 and the cue ball. A lot of guys will step up and fire at a bank here. Either corner is on. You can go down here, down here. You know, you got to come with some pace. It's risky, but at this point, 2 balls on the table, it's sort of do or die. It'd be tough for him to get safe here with how far away it is. I might try. I don't love those banks, so I might just try to put the cue ball behind the 9, something sneaky like that. He's gonna bank it though. Oh yeah, he tried it, but he got a double kiss. Fortunate little double kiss. It didn't finish terrible for him though. He didn't give up anything too easy. The 8 goes right in either corner, so you can cut it here, and the cue ball's gonna want to drive towards the 9, so you have to figure out your cue ball path that way. I think the 8 probably goes by the 9, and that's hard to control. I would think about low right, like low outside. Send the 8 this way, and then hopefully have the cue ball correct and come straight enough off the rail. We might just be trying to roll through this. These are deceptive. Okay, we're digging down. We're going to try to curve off the 8 and cut it up here. Oh. Dogged it. Leave it right in the pocket for him. All right. We didn't miss it by much, but I mean definitely missing it into the point. We can hit that better. Our shape was no good. It wouldn't have been that much different if we had made it. So yeah, not a great choice and not a great execution on that one. Bit of a funny game here, game 3. Yeah, he's got to commit now because getting safe would be tough. I think he's just got to go for it. He may not like the cut. I think he's looking at the bank. He's lining up the cut there. I think he changed his mind again. He wants to bank this back where he is standing right now, top left. Yeah, he banked it. 2 rails? Oh. Oh, it was close. Interesting. Must not have, yeah, I don't know why he didn't like the cut. I'll have to ask him. Speaking of cuts, we've got some work to do to put this 8 down. The bank's available, but I wasn't feeling it that day. Yeah, I remember this one. I can usually put these down with some consistency. Yeah, and authority too, because you need that speed. You don't want to hold it. You don't want to just try to roll that in. You know that you're going to be coming back and forth. So let the stroke out. These are worth practicing too, that thin cut. And even if you're not making the ball, just focus on your cue ball speed, right? Like, where do you end up? Good one. All right, that puts us up 2-1. Making me think of the, oh, we got kissed in the side, bummer. After the lag, he won the lag, so he chose to have the break, and I chose Nineball. And again, second match of the day where I'm coming in a little shaky. I think I was hoping that Nineball would go a little quicker. We could build up some pace, but these have been some slow games so far. And no spoilers, but the runtime on this video is fairly long for starting with Nineball. Where normally you would hope that you could just sort of run through Nineball one way or the other. You can get those Nineball games out of the way and maybe not have to go to 8-ball. So I like this decision. It's a really smart shot. Instead of taking the 1 up in the corner or something and then trusting a blind line on the 2, play the 1 in the side and let the cue ball roll to where you can see it. Target is along your shot line. Play it in the side and roll towards your next shot. Might have been trying to get some draw. It may just be something about John's game where maybe he doesn't have a strong draw stroke. So he's got a long cut on this 3 that could take you around to the 4, but you've got to put some pace on it. And maybe even kind of punch off it a little bit. He's queuing high. Yeah, I think he came with sort of high inside. Is he going to get a roll? No, not really. It looks like he went high inside to try to keep the cue ball from rolling around too far, using too many rails coming back this way. He wanted to sort of just come up and back for the 4. All right, here's another good opportunity. We want to judge this so that the 3 lays up. And if the 3 stays anywhere down here by the pocket, we use that hanger to take us back up towards the 4. So we're in pretty good shape. Rolled out a little too much. Oh, it looks like I think the 3 just moved very slightly. Favorably for me in this case. And that it, after contacting the 5, it stopped a little lower, a little closer to the short rail, and then it kind of like squeaked away from the rail a little bit. So do we go 2 rails here? Do we go down and back? Or do we just try to thin this with outside and roll towards the 4? Neither. Weird thing to do. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. I think 2 rails was probably the play if I didn't have enough of the 3. We're okay though, I mean just simple safe. Oh, or don't safe at all. That's not great. The intention there was to hit the 4 and bounce the 4 to the other side of the 8 and have the cue ball on this side of the 8 so that they were blocking. Just hit that bad. Just didn't hit enough of the 4. Way too much speed. So John can roll through this, I think. Nope, he's going to try to safe. Not a bad outcome. You could kick at the backside of the 4. You could try cross side on the 4. So you basically come into the 4 like this. I think that's what I'm going to do. You could also try to go safe to like thin off the 4 and get up behind the 8. That would be worth trying to. Because clearing out the 4 and getting ball in hand would be nice from here. I attacked it. Giving up a shot on the 4 again. I think I put bad spin on that one. John and I are just joking about how weird this match has been so far. Both of mine that day were feeling super weird. It's a good shot. Give him a nudge, friendly nudge off the 9. That's a high ball, just follow. And instead of the cue ball hitting the rail and kind of stopping or floating out a little bit, with follow, it's gonna dig into the rail a little bit more and drive down table, like we saw towards the 6. This is a good one too, although he needed to really let his stroke out on that to get back above the 7. So because he underhit it, stayed here straight in line with the 7. Try to go safe, unless he's feeling good about the bank, and it banks either way. He's looking at it in the side, it seems like, but you could try to go safe here and put the cue ball in behind the 9. Might not feel confident flirting with the corner pocket there because scratch is on. Another safe option here that I like is to try to put the 7 on the bottom short rail and send the cue ball up table. In that case, you are playing both, which normally I don't recommend, but it's still pretty playable. He's going for it, and he makes it. So that was interesting. It looked like he was sighting the cross side bank, but changed his mind to the corner, which is fine. I think either way, you're going to get some kind of look at the 8. It's got to come with another one here, though. These are testers. Luckily, the 9's almost a hanger. So if you bear down and make this 8 ball, you should get some kind of favorable look at the 9. Oh, geez, he just slightly overcut it. Just like caught the point. It's so close. And we've got an 8-9 out. And this one you can come back and forth. You don't need to roll this guy in, just let your stroke out a little bit. Don't need any spin, maybe a touch of outside just to keep it straight, but yeah, smooth center ball. Don't have to really do anything there. That's the back and forth. So I like that action because you can shoot that ball. You don't have to try to roll it in to hold it. Nice and level, nice and smooth. Stay down, good finish. Stroke's looking pretty good. All right, we're up 3-1. Maybe we'll get some momentum here. Hey, we made a ball in the break too. No momentum. 2 balls locked up. Simple safe might be an option. It'd be hard to judge, but thinning the 2 and then trying to leave him behind the 7. You don't really want to mess with the combo here. The 2 is close to the 7, so it's hard to judge. You might have enough room to bank the 2 off the rail and try to tuck it back down here behind the 9 or the 6. Cross side, I don't love because you have to cut this side of the 2 to send it this way. You would need to use low left. This is a tough spot. Would love to have a shot here, but I don't think I'd do that. we've got the option for push and masters, to be clear, but I'm gonna just try to shoot a shot, it looks like. Okay, so I was playing the cue ball. Look at it go! How did it... What? How'd it go through there? I was just playing a cue ball safe, so I just wanted to tuck it back up here. Somehow it went between the 8 and the 3 of all places. And I cleared up the 2-7 cluster, so... Alright. Nothing super tricky here, but you do have to make sure that your lines are good. He's going pretty straight on the 2, so he must be thinking about play the 3 here and then bounce off the rail to come out for the 4. Basically just a stop shot, maybe pinch back, touch of draw. This should work. Yeah, I like the look of this because the 4 takes you right to the 5. You want to make sure you're above the 5 so that you can roll down for the 6. Looking okay. 7 in the side, 8 in the corner. Oh, a little help from the 8. All right. A big pocket. Got a little funny on the 4, but he's still okay. Thin this in the side and hold it. Then it will put you on the proper side of the 5. Okay, he had a good amount of the 4, so he could hold it just by going full into it. And he is on the proper side of the 5. So you hit this 5 and you can pinch down for the 6. You don't need much from this. You just want to get good on the 6, and really anywhere in here is going to be good. Little movement. Way overcooked that one, but he's gonna get on the short side of it. Perfect shape. This could work. I mean, he's okay. He can stop it there. Play the 7 in the corner and then roll up for the 8. He could roll forward a little bit. Play the 7 in the side. I don't like that as much, I don't think. I'd rather be playing just a simple stop shot on the 6, keeping that simple, and then roll forwards off the 7. He doesn't like it. Maybe he's just changing his mind about how to get from the 7 to the 8. Looks like he's queuing high. He went all the way through it. Oh no, look at this roll. Yeah. You'd have to dig really thin on this to try to cut it in the corner. Getting safe would be pretty tough here. Not really a billiard on the 9. Yeah, if you try to go thin this way, you're sending the 7 towards the side pocket. That might be his best play, though. If he can get thin and create distance, maybe send me up table. Okay, he's jacking up. Camera's blocked, so we can't really see, but he's at least gonna push the 7 away. Maybe just simple safe, unless he's trying to make it. Get out of the way, Johnny. Well, somehow it got up table. I think the cue ball had enough energy that it carried around. Bank's on. Send the 7 back here, but you're sending the cue ball back down table away from the 8. Maybe I can pinch it back and... No, I play safe. This is the position that I like. I was talking about it earlier in the game. If you just send a ball here and then create distance, this is a tough cut shot. And I don't normally like to challenge my opponent with an offensive option. The reason I did it in this case is if he decides to attack, which he's been playing pretty aggressive today, if he attacks this cut shot, the speed control is very difficult. You can't hold it. The cue ball's going to bounce off too far to have a good cut on the 8. You have to make this cut come all the way down and then all the way back to, you know, somewhere in here and here. Either of those would work. But you've got to judge 2 full table rolls off a cut shot. And that's a challenging shot for position. But watch, he's going to go for it. He's taking the bait. And he makes the cut, overruns it a little bit, and that's, man, it's so easy for this shot to go wrong. He knew that he had to put pace on it, but judging it's like perfect speed control, right? And the other thing is you have to maybe even touch of inside to counteract that, because it opened up as it went, and now he got just above the 8, kind of in line with the 8. You'd need that inside to end up anywhere in here. Tough, super tough. So in this case, the strategy worked out. My safety strategy worked out. Safety's not always about, I got to get ball in hand, you know. There's some situations where you try to get your opponent to do something that will ultimately be favorable for you, not just scratching, missing a hit. He's going to try to kick this in, though, which, I mean, it's on. The big ball, because the rail's going to help. Oh, man, good effort. Really good effort. Let's see, though. Kind of clutch up for this. Very similar shot to the last 8-9 out, where thin rail shot, we know that we want to straighten it out a little bit. Let your stroke out. You don't have to try to hold it to keep it right here. You can go back and forth if you want to open this up a little bit. Okay, so I decided to roll it with inside that time instead of going straight into it, which I like that. A little bit of that spin, that go in spin. Smooth, stay. Oh, some head movement. Put it away though. It makes it 4-1. We're starting to break away. The 1 does not want to go on the side. 2 ball gets kicked around and goes in. And okay, we've got to look at the 1, full access to the 1. So the 1 would cut. Getting shape on the 3 might be a little tricky. I might get greedy here. I'm looking at how to come off the 1 into the 8, top side of the 8, to cut the 8 into the 9. Would be a very efficient way of getting to 5-1. These are hard to judge because the 8-9 is not wired up. That is a missable combo. Yeah, I went to the bottom side of the 8. Still made the 1. It's funny how that works out. Sometimes I wasn't thinking about making the 1 at all, but just automatically make the ball. All right. Well, it didn't cooperate, but we're still at the table. I'm just going for this, aren't I? Try to cut this in. Very long bridge. Yikes. Missed that bad. Oh no! Knock the 8 out of the way, and we laid up a potential 3-9 here. I could see John going for this. Yeah, I deserve it. I went for the 8, the 8-9 thing that was laid up. We really wanted to be 5-1 up here. This is a very makeable 3-9. You just want to set this up so that the cue ball to the 3 is pretty much straight onto that line of the 9. That's how it's done. Okay. So 4, 6, and the cue ball. Oh, I'm looking at the 2, I think. No, I was looking at the 9. This is where we start making silly, greedy decisions. Gonna hurt you. I don't think this is the right play, man. Got ball in hand, you know how to run out. Play the 1 in the other corner, roll up on the 2, 3 in the side. I mean, it's a roadmap. You don't have to go for this silly 1-9. Even with ball in hand, this is not a gimme. Don't love this. Yeah, we missed it. Big time. All right. Rearrange things a little bit. He's got a nice easy shot on the 1. He could slow roll it maybe to stay there for the 2. It looks like he's got enough of the 1, hit it full enough to keep it there for the 2 ball. Some people might be tempted with this 3-9 combination after the 2, but don't really have to mess with that. He's kind of queuing low on it, like he wants to spin away from... Oh, he's going center ball. Oh no! Well, okay. Instead of 5-1, we're now 4-3. Scratching the side. Oh. All right. So he's got to look at the 1. Those are funky. Those were a couple funky games. We were really leveling out. We were playing really well. And then 2 bad decisions, really. Ultimately just greedy. I think I have to think about it that way. I have to keep that in mind. Look at this weird shape. Good safety options here. Might be able to get the 1 past the 5. Gonna roll up on the 5 and keep it there. But yeah, think about playing safe. 1 doesn't go anywhere easy. Not the best. Not our best work. I pulled away from it. I'm not sure why I hit low on that. But ideally, you want to leave the cue ball on the 5. But because I was jacked up, queuing down low on it, it pulled away from the 1. Now because it's drifted out, he's at least got an edge on the 1. He's guaranteed to make a good hit. See if he attacks this or not, if he tries to make it. Maybe he's looking at a safe. I think that's the right play. I would probably go safe here. Drive through this 1 and just leave him on the 8. Hit the wrong side of the 1. Pretty sure that's what he was going for. All right, back at the table. We got to get control of this match again. What I'm thinking about here is how to get from the 3 to the 4. Ideally, you want to be above the 4. So up here is great, right? Anywhere up there, you're going to be able to make the 4. So this is good. High outside, kind of smooth around for the 3. And now it's hard to tell what kind of angle I have on the 3. I have a little bit of a cut angle maybe. So, okay, I'm looking at, can I draw off the 3 to get past the 5. I'm going to try to smooth draw this back up and out. Underhit it. There's another chance for that safety, though. I would absolutely take it in this case because I don't love the... I think the 4 probably does go. Why are we jacking up on this, though? I don't really understand. We're going to overhit this big time. Yeah, those are... That's such an important shot, and normally I hit those pretty well. And I was misjudging it, hitting it low with way too much pace. But really what you want to do is just send the 4 to the top rail and kind of roll through it, let the cue ball roll through onto the 5. Stuff's starting to slip away here in this match. Giving up way too many chances. Gonna bank this maybe. I don't mind the bank here. Yeah, he's looking at the line on the 5. The bank works as long as you could use low outside, low right to try to spin off the 4, come down. Make sure that you get the right line on the 5, takes you towards the 7. Looks like he's queuing high. Played that well. That can work. You want a little more from it though, right? You would want to come into here and then back out. He's still got options. They're not great. You don't really want to have to cut this 5 in the side, but it will go. You don't want to mess with the 5-8 combination. It's too far away. There's too much that can go wrong. Yeah, he's looking at the 5 in the side, which could be fine. If you make that ball, you're going to get shape on the 7. Either try to hold it for the side or just roll above it for the bottom corner where his bridge hand is. Yeah, he's going to roll through. Oh, man. He's getting lucky, though. This is the swing in the match, right? We make a couple greedy decisions and we get punished for it for a little while. So I'm just thinking about kicking at it one rail. It's too far to jump. Can't really get at this with a jump. One rail kick from down there. Trying to control for what's going to happen with the 5s. A bit beyond my abilities, we'll say. But making the hit is easy enough for me. I think we're just going to hit it with pace and try to make something happen. Yeah, right. Chance, I don't know. Chance you send it into the 8-ball and make it. I think you got to hit that with pace. Made a good hit. It's about all I was capable of doing in that case. He's got a cut on the 5. You could definitely run into the 9-ball here. Pretty risky. Gonna end up okay for him. This should be okay. The 7 cuts in the side, and you'd have to, when you cut this in the side, you have to pinch off it a little bit, maybe with some stun draw, and the cue ball's gonna track towards the short rail and then down below the 8. You don't want to go into this with a high ball because it's gonna dig too much. If you try to roll forward, it'll come in too far, hit this side of the 8, or you could theoretically come lower than that, maybe if you really go thin on the 7. Yeah, he dug into it a little too much. It's gonna finish okay for him. John Boy might get out here. Yeah, if he stays level on this 8-ball, he's gonna get He's gonna get shape on the 9. He's given up a couple 8-9s though, previous racks. Oh, is that okay? Cooperated. I don't know what he said there, but something about bless these buckets or something. I don't know. Big pockets. He put his whole body into that one too. You saw him like kind of lean forward into it. It's that body English. Gotta steer it in. Right, puts that one away. And that takes us into 8-ball, guys. We didn't know that we were gonna have to do it. He does make a ball, so he's gonna have to be the first one to deal with this cluster. Normally I love me some 8-ball, but I have to say today I was hoping to just get away with a 9-ball set and be done. We are 4-4, it's a race to 3 in 8-ball games, and they've been going slow. So I have to fix my mindset. I'm curious, I don't know why he doesn't take the 14 here. Maybe he didn't like the shape. But he just kind of maybe trying to claim that pocket. 4 still available. 4 comes into the pack, but it's also flirting with a 5-8 combination. The tracks towards the side. I think I go look at that. Yeah. Yeah, you don't like that, do you? Don't do it. We'll take the 4, but maybe try to hold it for the 2. Stay down there. That could work. Ooh. I don't think the 5 really fully got in the way. I like that we opened it up just a little bit. We didn't have to hammer into them. The 5-8's still a problem. Oh, move that guy. 2 still cuts. Just go safe. Okay, I think the idea there would have been send the 2-ball back onto the other side of the cue, so that the cue ball, so that they were sort of sandwiched on either side. It would have been a good save. This is not a good save because he still has full access to the 10. And actually, playing the 10 can clear up his little cluster. I would definitely play the 10 here. Play the 10. Bit of outside. Rolls into the 15. You'd want to hit the top side of the 15, I'd say, to get above this pack. Looks like he's queuing that way. Should work out. He went into the bottom side of the 15, I think. Look at this. It like kind of moves the 8-ball away from the pack and then it goes right back in. Well, I think he's got the 14. He also has the 13. He could try to use the 13 to break it up again. 12's going to go into the 8. Shouldn't be too risky, though, with the 7 where it is. It's a good cut. Yeah, the 8 went right into the 7. 12 ball got messed up, though. But he cleared up his 15 in the 8 a little bit more. I want to look at the 12 short side to see if it goes up top. So 15 takes you to the 14. The 12 might go down here. If you get a good line on the 12 from up table, you might still be able to make it, and it could be your key ball. It could be the last ball before the 8. All right, that's a nice touch. Let's see if he still has enough of the 14 to make it. I think he does. You can pinch back off the 14 to get behind the 9, or you could sort of punch into it and send it towards the other corner. Oh, he kind of went wild on it, but had some help from the 1-6. Still got a good look at the 9. He's on the wrong side of the 9, though. The problem is the cue ball is going to want to come around this way. And he might just want to go after the 12 now. I would not go after the 12 now. Because if he misses this... It's kind of close, too. The 3's definitely blocking a portion of it. Yeah, he doesn't like it. It's super close. Yeah, he's letting me know he's going after the 12, so we have somebody come watch. Ended up overcutting it. Not by a lot, but it's tough to judge those, I think, if there's a ball so close. It's distracting or intimidating, right? Kind of throws you off. I think I remember this one. I'm going to get up above this 5 ball. We're into the 3. I think we play the 5 here because 5 doesn't go past the 8. Leave something else for our key ball. Rushed into that one. Look how bad we hit it. That's silly. You just have to come a little bit thinner off the 7 and roll up above it. No, you have to get above that 5. And just rushed it. Ace was off. Now we're contending with a sort of weird back cut on the 5. Definitely goes, and it's going to send us towards the other shots. 3 goes in the side. It's a little deceptive. It's not the worst shot. It's going to send us up above the 1 and the 6, so we should get shape on something. Undercut it. Overplayed our rolled our position too. This is 4-4. We need a game. Hard to tell if he's got enough of the 9 to make it. Getting shape on the 12 could be touchy even if he does have that ball. Don't believe the 12 goes in past the 9 unless you're willing to use a lot of the long rail, kind of bank it in. He's going to try to cut the 12 on the side, which is probably his best option if he doesn't have access to the 9. Thin cut, but it's very makeable. And hard to hold this ball for the 9. Oh, we hit that pretty well. Don't do it! Oh, that sucks. He made a good shot, but yeah, rolling through it that thin, maybe even with a little bit of inside, scratch is big. I mean, you're going to slide along that long rail. It is unfortunately pretty easy to scratch from there. So here's an interesting pattern. You know you've got to get back up table for the 1 and the 6, but ball in hand, clearing out the 5 seems like your best option to open up. Although, I don't know. Let's think about this. So I know that I start with a 5, but if you, let's just say, you know, play the 1 and the side, you roll forward, you're here on the 6, use that to roll forward, and then you've got your shape on the 5. 5-3-8 looks really good to me. There's a lot of ways to get between the 1 and the 6 where your final ball is going to take you towards the 5. I think the 6 is the way to go to get towards the 5. Looking at it now, I like that better than what I end up doing here, which is to clear the 5, which I think in that moment felt like the problem ball because it didn't have great access. And we play it in this sort of tentative way. I don't love that. And you either have to roll through and use the long rail or pinch off of it. And when I'm feeling good, I do normally like this sort of pinch draw to come back up above the 6 and the 1. And these are fast tables, so you can pretty full into the 3. And we had enough of it to slow down the cue ball. This is well played. So it's going to work out for us, but I don't think it was a high enough percentage pattern. I think we could have done better on how this is getting out. Pretty full in the 6, but roll through. I like playing it that way. Use the rail to bring you back out. Being a little straighter on the 1 would be nice so that you could just draw straight back, but now we have to contend with the rail. Bit of sort of stun draw with spin. Roll off. Don't go that far. Oh my goodness. How fast that is. Too much spin. We just needed a punch off. I think we got greedy in this case too. Just trying to get cute. Trying to get way too close. But you just bear down. This is a very cuttable ball. Works. It's a long game of 8-ball. All right. Let's get to the hill. Please. Second ball break. Things spread out pretty well. Not my best second ball break. I haven't been working on my 8-ball break as much as my 9-ball break. So open choice here. Either looks fine. The 5-1 situation up here, that combo does go, so that's not really an issue. You could open up with the 2, puts you on the 4. I think the 7 will go past. No, he likes stripes. Right into the back. Works out. 6 helped him out a little bit. We can just roll forward just a little bit. Just a pinch. Ooh. Too much, maybe. Might still have it. So it's not a bad layout. The 8-ball's not great. But now this 12-ball goes. Use that for his key ball and play shape here for the 8 in this corner. But he's got to solve the 15, 14, and then get up table in order to do that. Maybe he doesn't have enough of the 15 right now, so he's taking 9. Which works out for him. We get the 15, and he's coming way down table again. The shake of the head, I'm guessing he does not have the 15. Got hooked behind the 14. Bad roll. So he's out of options, offensively speaking. He can try to get safe. He's got enough balls left on the table to try to get safe. It's interesting though, deep into a match like this, you just get into certain modes. It's hard to shake out of it. And I felt pretty strong in those first couple of games, but then it definitely fell off. So it can be hard to shake that. And I don't know how John was feeling at this point, but these have been long games and he's getting chances, he's winning games. It's the most games that John's gotten off of me, I think. gonna try to maybe send the 10 into... It's not a bad shot. Yeah, he sent the 10 into that cluster. So I like that. It, you know, kind of gum things up even more. He doesn't leave me a great offensive option. Try to resafe him. Thin off the 1. Leave him up table here. Or send him down table. Use the 6 to go down. Don't remember what I do here. Be interesting to see. You might be able to back cut that 6 in the side, but you're going to be coming with some pace. I think I'm going after the 2. Okay, the 2 cuts. Go into the cluster a little bit, which is nice. And now we have the 3, which could also take us back into the cluster. You gotta rip that one a little bit though, because we're pretty flat on the 3. So you have to cheat the pocket, play the 3 to this side. Cue ball's gonna come back in and around. And you want to give it enough pace to not only spread them apart, but move the cue ball out so that you have some kind of shot. That's good. That one looked good. There are definitely ways that can go wrong, but after getting that roll off the 2 and the proper angle on the 3 to come into that cluster, that worked out pretty well. 7 ball's a problem. So going around to look to see if it even has a pocket, which maybe it does in the side, but we have to get on it. The 4 can take you to the 7 if it does go on the side. The other option you would have is to try to play into the 8-7, drive the 7 towards the pocket where the 4 ball is right now. Getting down on the 4 to try to get to the 7 right now. This is good practice, right? You want to take care of those problems early. Maybe I'm just playing into it. I'm going to try to roll 2 rails into the 7 to clear it up a little bit. Oh, so close, man. I don't know how well that would have worked out, though, because we were hitting thin on this side of the 7. Really, you want to play fuller into it or onto a more left side of the 7. I don't know if I was really accounting for all that at the table. Super close nonetheless. And we're potentially still okay. Play this 6, pinch back a little bit to get an angle off the 5 into the... Not that far. Now we're on the wrong side of the 5. The idea would be, so here's the, pocket line of the 5. Yeah, I just pointed at it. You wanted to be up here so that you come off the 5 into the 8-7. So we're on the wrong side of the 5. It's going to send us up table. You make the 5 and hold the cue ball. You don't have a look at the 7. So I opt for a safe here. I think there's really no reason to just make the 5. So I just try to send the 5 towards the 8-7. And leave distance. Just trying to not sell out any easy shots, but I do think I gave up the 15 in the bottom right. I like where I ended with the 5 though. Sending it down there towards the 8-7. If I do get a shot on the 5, there's a pretty good chance I can manipulate it to clear out the 8-7. I'll have to see what he goes for though. I think he's got the 15. Going safe could work. Maybe just come off the 10, like send the 10 into the rail here and try to leave me behind the 10-12. Maybe that's what he's doing. Oh, he tried to shoot the 10. He's not gonna like this. Look at this cue ball position, jeez. So again, I don't think the 7 goes on the side. It would be really nice to just be able to roll forward under the 7, play the 7 on the side. But I don't think it goes, so I'm going to have to overcut the 5 to here and punch off the rail. And I'm looking at just moving the 8. So I punched it, but missed the 8. So I pulled back just a bit too, or hit too low on the cue ball, basically. Pulled the cue ball back too far. It can be tough to punch those with follow off the rail. Tough spot now. You gotta kick into the 7. Maybe I have an edge on it. I might. Oh, I remember here. I have a really thin edge on the 7, so I think about coming off the 7, make the 15 so that he doesn't have a good offensive option, and leave the cue ball down table here. Good pace. 7's blocking access to the 12. He's got a look at the 14, obviously, and he's got a line on the 10. He could very easily play a safety off of the 10 ball. Leave me here. That's probably what I would do. Looking at it, and just, you know, use the 14 to block the 7. Don't give up any easy kicks. But you got to make me work for it. If he attacks and tries to make the 14, he's got a good chance of getting shape on the 10, but the 10 to the 12 is not simple. Depending on where he ends up, I guess. He's, I don't know, he's calculating something. If he wants to attack the 14, you play it in the corner and just roll through. It's going to send you towards the 10. He does. He likes these kind of slow rolls. Well, maybe he doesn't like them, but he can make them. All right. Misses that one, unfortunately. Unfortunately for him. The 14 has to roll up on the cue ball. Look at that. But we've got the backside of the 7 available to us, and this could kick in. I'm just visualizing the kick from the backside of the 7. And it's on. If you hit it full, you have a really good chance of making it. You're not likely to scratch. You would have to undercut the 7. Using my 1 rail kick system here. Basically the kick point is just beyond second diamond, and we want to come full into the 7. Nice one. Pop that in. That's center ball. I mean, that's exactly where I was wanting to hit, so that's been working out great. We got to bear down and make this 8 ball, man. Get to the hill. It goes in either corner. Looking at it on camera, I would go bottom left. Definitely be going here, but I'm sending it up here. Oh man, shoot it into the rail after that epic kick on the 7. At least the 8 didn't go in wild somewhere. Would have been insult to injury. But giving it up. It stings. He's got to look at the 14 in the corner. 10 goes. He's really just got to solve for the 12. Get above that, maybe play it down in the corner here, bottom right. 10 bounce back and forth. Okay. well, he's got the 14 in the side. He's got to figure out getting on the 12. I don't mind coming off the 14 and getting into here. Anywhere up here is going to be fine on the 12. He went straight through it. Needed to spin off it, come a little fuller into the 14. He could still get out. Bank is on. And not super tough. Got a bit of an angle. He doesn't have to do too much. He really doesn't have to worry about the cue ball. And he's taking some time on this one, which is, I mean, it's the right thing to do. You gotta take this shot seriously. Something I've noticed about John's game against me compared to his game against other players, he seems to work a lot harder when he plays me. He tries a lot harder. Whereas with other players, he might just kind of shoot around, or maybe it's like purely just for fun. But he really makes an effort against me, which is cool. You know, you like to see that. You want to have opponents who take the game seriously. I do anyway. Yeah, he wants to bank this in. Like I said, you don't have to do much with the cue ball here. Just check your angle on the 12. We don't need to use a bunch of unnecessary spin. You just kind of roll through. Nice. Maybe could have used a breath on this shot. You get excited though. I mean, you make a cool shot. You want to just like jump right into the next one. You're safe on the side pocket there though. And it's 5-5. So pretty good break. Couple of options here. And it's an open table. Made at least one of each. So open with the 7, then you've got the 4 or the 6 if you're able to hold it. The 8-ball's tricky either way. And the 5 isn't in a great spot. He's got some work to do no matter what he takes. But if he misses, then he lets me at the table with an open option for either suit. Oh, you got to make a ball, Johnny. And he cleared up the 8-ball. Okay. This is a chance for us, man. And he cleared up the 8-ball and the 5, so solids are looking pretty good. I'm going to open with this 1 ball on the side. The 3 goes... We'd be flirting with the side pocket a little bit. I might not like that as much, especially because we have shape on the 1 now. Just take the 1 now. And the 1 takes you either to the 3, maybe the 5. 6 backs you up. You just, yeah, bear down and make the 1. You could even play it off the 7 if you needed to. Or push up your 8-ball a little bit. We gotta snap this game off. Get on the hill. Taking my time to judge this one because I don't want to run the wrong way or miss the 1. I mean, it is thin into the side, but it definitely goes. You could play it super safe and hit the 1 fuller into the 7 and not even try to play it clean. Maybe that's what I do here, I don't remember. Nice. Cool. So yeah, it opened up the 7 a little bit, but that's fine. We have the 6. Don't think, yeah, we didn't get the 5. So we can roll up off the 3, get above the 7. That's what I'm looking at there. Area for the 7. 7 takes you to the 4. Could have used a bit more off that, but this is still fine. We could also go 7, 5, 4, 6. Yeah, and the reason we might go for the 5 here is if we take the 4, getting from the 5 to the 6 is a lot harder than getting from the 4 to the 6. Yeah, this is what I like. Should be a smooth draw stroke here off the 5 to get on the 4. Little nudge on the 8, but that's still okay. And now we look at, if we get super straight on the 6, we can draw back for the 8 in this side pocket. If we get an angle on the 6, we can punch out and finish over here for the 8 in this side. So either way, but I think we're going to end up with a little bit of an angle. You don't want to hold this 4 ball too much. Low right, low outside. So pull back a little bit. Pretty full into the 4, a little bit of an angle. I did try to hold it quite a bit, but we've got a workable angle. It's a long shot on the 6, but the angle naturally is going to send you out for the 8 ball on the side, like I said. Nice and smooth, punch off this. Awesome. If you're still here and you haven't subscribed, I would encourage you to do so. Plenty more on the way, some exciting stuff for the channel. Older videos included, but a lot of cool stuff coming up in my matches. And that's a good out. That one feels good. There's shoulds in there. That's how we should be playing. Whatever that means. But feels good to make that out. You know, he opens up, and an open table had the choice, misses a ball, and I clean the table. That's what we need to be doing right now. That's a better perspective than shoulds, I think. It's what I need to be doing. That's the kind of game I need to be bringing to the table. Would have been nice to pocket that 8 for the win. Just get over with. But we are solids. So I'll just make contact with the 2 and pocket his 9. And try to leave him down table here safe. It's a pretty good play. He's got to look at the stripes. He can make a hit, but no great offensive options. We're starting to get a little momentum back here, right? We're on the hill. We made a good out. Confidence coming back. Oh, is he going after the 11? The 11 might have a window. Straight down. Went for it. It's going. Ah, not quite. It's a good try. All right. 7-6 situation is no good. Opening up with a combo 4 to the 3 is fine. If we can control where the 4 ends up, we might be able to get into a spot where we can roll into that cluster and try to clear it up a little bit. Yeah, this is the thing. We want to go really full hit into the 3. Pretty good. We're on the wrong side of the 4, though. It's hard to hold that. Now we're looking at some kind of weird 4-ball combination. Yeah, the 6 to the 15 is a pretty aggressive cut in and of itself. You're having to back cut the 7 into the 6, to back cut the 15, to try to go straight 15 to the 2 ball. Yeah, there's just so much that can go wrong. You have to hit that so perfect. So I guess we're just taking the 4 to get it off the table and then come back around for shape. Hopefully better shape on this combo situation. I wouldn't say that's better, but we've at least got to look at the 7. Thin back cut on the 7. Yeah, I think you just make a good hit and try to make something happen, at least send the 7 and the 6 away from the cluster. Maybe you're not even going to move the 2 based on how many collisions there are. Didn't even hit the 15. Look at that. And the 7 and 6 are clustered. Okay. That did not work out great. Maybe the play off the 4 was to really let my stroke out, come around 3 rails, and try to play into the cluster. Might have been possible. I think there was enough angle off the 4 to manipulate that and spin all the way back around. Do not want John to get to the hill, so get back to the table. We got to make something happen here. Is he going for the 14 past the 8? Good shot. Nice. Then. All right. It's pretty flat on the 10. 10 takes you to the 13 or the 12. He's got to figure out his 15, though. That's the only thing. Maybe he's thinking about hitting it off the 10. I'd rather get an angle on the 13, I think. Like pinch back off the 10, use the 13 to come into the 15, and then you have a pretty good chance of getting shape on the 12. If he can even hold it off the 10. He might not be able to. Yeah, he played into it right now. Oh, this leave. That hurts. So he's got to make a hit here. He does not want to give up ball in hand. 6 and the 7 is weird, but the 7 does go. The 7 goes up here in the corner. So if you were to stop after the 2, you get on the 7 and roll up, and you can play the 6 down here. So this is very playable. If I get ball in hand, it's very playable. This is do or die for John. He's got to make a hit. Got a good chance, though. Even a long rail kick. 13 and the 12 are very hittable. You can even go for the 15 if you really wanted to spin into it. Yeah, he went after the 15. Still got it. Maybe left me... Yeah, he left me a line on the 2. So I can play the 2, and yeah, I'm looking at coming back into here. I want that line on the 7. Just like I said, play the 7 in the corner, roll up, and you have shape on the 6 from here. Looking at it again to make sure I know what my window is for the 7. Good punch draw. I think we're good on the 7. Got enough of the ball to float up. Maybe pinched back a little bit too far, but we should still be okay. Yeah, and I'm just looking at my window. We want to roll up off the 7. Anywhere into here would be fine on the 6. And then it's straightforward follow shot off the 6 to get up on the 8. Looking a little jabby. No, we're smooth. Oh, we hit it so bad. This leave too. What the heck? We hit the 6 first. It almost went. It almost went anyway. I'm kind of glad. I think he said something about that. He's like, I wish you made it. I would not want to be here having to kick at the 6. So it's interesting because he's got full access to the 15, but he doesn't want to. He might not want to mess with it here because he doesn't want to free up my 6. So he's gonna choose to kick into something else, maybe the 11, 2 rails. Missed it. Those are tough spots. I mean, you've got full access to a ball. You know that you're not going to give up ball in hand if you hit that 15. Maybe just like try to touch the 15 and put him into the rail. He's given up ball in hand. I do have a line on the 6. You just have to get a look at the 7, and then you draw back off the 7, and it's game over. 8-ball goes in the side. These are finicky, though. You got to make sure you don't get too close. You don't want to make a bad hit. You have to give yourself enough of an angle that it sends you towards the 7. You don't have to do a lot with the cue ball, right? But land in such a way that you have a good look at the 7. Spent a lot of time sighting that one in, but we eventually got there. And we've got a great look at the 7. This one's a lot like some of the other shots. You could easily just roll through this, or you could kind of punch at it, come out and back. Look at that. So weird. We ended up hitting that with low inside or something. It just died on the rail. That's so bad. And now we can't cut it in the side. And maybe you send it down towards the... Yeah, this is what I have to end up considering here. So I call it in the corner. I'm gonna come pretty full into this 8-ball. Send it down along the rail. Off the 15. Really straightforward 7 to the 8-ball. Look at that though. Ooh, it almost goes. That would have been cool. That would have been a cool way to win. Come on. Ball in hand. 7's hanging, the 8's hanging. You've got to be able to put those away. Just bad tip contact, I think, on the 7. It was aiming it properly, had it planned properly, but just hit it in such a weird way. Johnny's got a chance here. Cut the 11 to open up, maybe? He tempted to just take the duck. Can't really get safe. Yeah, he's got to go for it. He's going to cut the 12. This is super risky. I'm surprised he doesn't like the cut on the 11. Maybe just doesn't think he'll get shape. Makes it. Super risky because you're always going to sell out the 8 if you miss that ball. All right. Still got work to do. Come thin off the 11 maybe. like down table here to get short side on the 13-15. Hard to tell if the 15 goes past the 8. It might, based on how big the pockets are. But let's see what he goes for. Yeah, he would have been reaching for the 11. I'm not a fan of these bridges. I don't know about you guys, but they just seem a little finicky to me. They're supposed to be cool. You know, they're supposed to offer you more adjustments, more options, but yeah, so I like playing it that way. Play it thin inside. Keep it running past this long rail. He's got to come with a shot here, though. This is a tester. And maybe he holds it, tries to stay below the 15. Yeah, he slow rolled it. Center of the pocket, though. That looks good. He's got to come with another one here, though. Back cut on the 15. He might not trust center ball or the draw to keep the cue ball down table. You roll forward, you're going to give yourself a long shot on the 8, but I mean, the 8's hanging. So you make the 15, you should be good. It's okay to take your time on this one. Makes a good shot. He's on the 8. Checks his line. He's winding up. Fires it in. Oh, Jonathan. Oh, man. Tough one. Tough one, guys. So I always have fun playing with John. Some interesting back and forth there. Some actual good play from me, despite how weird things were that day. So overall, feeling good about my performance in the normal season. We just had one loss, so our record was 20-21 wins, or I'll pull it up here. What were we? Yeah, so I was 21 for 22. So just the one loss. You know who you are. I know you watch my videos. You got me. Yeah, good season overall. Good finish for the team. We did take first place. We're going into playoffs here in about 3 weeks. So keep your eyes peeled. We're going to be doing some prep stuff until then. We just gotta nail this down, make it to Vegas. So stay tuned. There's more to come, and I will look forward to seeing you guys again soon.